Okay. Yes, here's the spec. Let's just get started. Okay. This spec is from my version of Postfix locally, so it's a little bit old and what's on the website. Any requests? Can you all see it okay? No?
A little fuzzy.
A little fuzzy? Probably not going to help.
Really just hit Control Plus and just on the box.
How's this?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Anything you would particularly like to see?
Scan machine? You were going to mention things about the PPP.
Oh, sure. Dial-up machines we want.
I have the dial.
Okay. Here is the suggested code for, can you do that okay?
You might want to put up the size of the liquid switch.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yes. Got that.
Much better.
Great. Use user sbin send mail-q, or you can use mail postage flush. The old send mail commands should still work. Even if they don't work, they will not generate any untoward error messages, so that you won't have things spat back at your script that you won't understand. That your script won't understand. I'm sorry. Actually, the one big lack I have seen in Postfix compared to SendMail is that it's hard. There isn't a command, as far as I've seen, to say, okay, I'm going to send a message now. Tell me everything you would do to this message without sending it, which is something you can do with SendMail, so that you can see if you've got your rewriting. Yes, you can see if you've got your rewriting rules wrong or something like that, and why your mail isn't getting where it's supposed to be. That's one thing that I have found to be lacking in Postfix, and I considered emailing the maintainer about it at this point. I probably will.
The one thing I found is when I sent some email to an account on BLU.org, and I did not have the dummy inbound mail file initialized. I got bounces, but it didn't tell me what the bounce was, any reason for the bounce.
Okay. I've never seen that behavior, but then I've never not had the mail school file for the user, so
Yeah.
that's, I guess it's an interesting thing to remember.
Yeah, that's why I sent a copy to Jeffers and say,
Yeah.
I just never seen that before. Now I've seen it once.
So you made that change and it's working now?
What?
You just made that change and now it's working?
Yes.
So I can ignore that mail and read it.
No, your mail I intercept and well, it's just my inexperience working with Postfix, and I just been working against the deadline, haven't had time to really read the facts.
Yeah. So. Is there anything else? Should I scroll through that section more slowly, or?
No, that was good. That was good.
Now, the other question is, just like in John, is for Mailman has its own way of doing virtual posts. Is that correct? Or do you use Postfix for that?
No, it's just Postfix.
Okay.
All Mailman is doing is managing the list.
Because eventually in BLU.org, for the groups I have like Mac Woburn, Pam will get around to fixing her who is list like that. I can do the Helvets list and make that virtual. Mac Woburn, those are the three. You've already done April.net, April.org.
The option to just fix stats when you go to send mail.
That's actually a good question. I don't remember seeing such a list.
I'm pretty sure they've got some of the weirder ones, like dash DV for verifying an address. I was wondering if there
Exactly.
if you could list which ones will handle and which ones you want.
Is it down in the bottom here, the frequently asked questions?
Send mail compatibility?
compatibility?
Yeah, let's have a look at that. You can't read it? Let
Tell
me...
me if dash T is on the list or not.
Dash T, okay. T does not work. Duplicate mail. Let's remember. Relay. Relay mail from open users. Okay, I think that was the end of the Postfix. It doesn't say anything about dash T.
Try it out to memorize it.
Yeah. The frustrating thing is that if it doesn't, it will probably not give you an error message. It just won't say anything if it doesn't
Well,
work.
for this thing, it's not the message on standard one, so you'll know if it's working.
Oh, yes, I guess so. Okay.
You can talk about some of the spam filtering capabilities.
Okay.
I heard the women was awesome.
Pizza Venom.
Sounds like he really loves answering that question.
He's got it moving. Okay. So you can specify the local delivery agent, and if you like, you can use the local delivery agent to do virus scanning. Postfix does not do the virus scanning internally itself as of the writing of this fact. The more modern versions may have better hooks for doing that. One of the things that he's been working on in progressive versions is adding hooks to do more things yourself. To have scripts that log to the logs the same way that Postfix does, that the lines are the same, you can parse them all nicely, that sort of thing. So you can specify what your local delivery agent is. You could use ProcMail if you like, and then filter from there for spam, viruses, etc.
To use this to send to or to call ProcMail?
To call, you'd say Postfix, don't use your normal local delivery agent. Feed it to ProcMail, and
Let
ProcMail will
ProcMail
do whatever
do it.
it likes with it.
Gotcha.
There is limited there's limited capability within Postfix for doing UUCP. I don't remember if that was one of the things he was going to work more on or not. Postfix has manual pages for practically anything you can think of. They're pretty good ones, too. So if it's something to do with Postfix, just try manning it. You'll probably get something. If nothing else, you can go look at the website, which has copies of the man pages. If you can't find the man page relevant to what you're looking for, find the part of the HTML explanation that addresses it, and it will have a link to the man page that you want.
How widely used do you think UCP is these days?
Not very. The author mentioned that he didn't think it would be used very much, but he had, in the past, had to have a mail gateway that exchanged mail between DECnet UCP and SMTP, and so he wanted it to be possible.
There are people that are still using DECnet.
A few.
There are a few people, one is a member of this group, a couple are that still use UCP. I think the guy from Lowell, I'm trying to remember his name. I think he still uses UCP. John Chambers does occasionally. I think he's finally weaned off that. And I think Rich Braun still uses it. One of the things that UCP was able to do a little bit better than SendMail is mail queuing. I think and this is quite a while ago, what Rich Braun used to do at Pioneer Global is that when there were mail problems and stuff like that, and his mail queue got fairly large, he'd dump it all over to the UCP. And it would still get out via the internet. It's just that UCP managed the queues better. I think that's not an issue any longer. I really haven't seen too much of a problem with SendMail on large queues. But again, a few years ago, that was an issue. But I think UCP is starting to die. It's been dying along so that.
Your comments remind me of another performance difference between Postfix and Qmail. Qmail and Postfix both having the same model of a lot of little programs, each of which perform a specific task, but Qmail, each program performs the task once and then exits, which incurs some process creation overhead. And Postfix, to try and avoid that overhead, has semi-resident processes which perform a figurable number of times and then exit.
I think the other thing you mentioned earlier is memory leaks. And large program daemons, especially that stay resident for a long time, just have a tendency to gobble up memory because on most systems, when they do a malloc never returns any memory back to the operating system, even if you do it free. I only know of one malloc family that actually does try to return memory back to the operating system.
Which one?
264 malloc. You can configure, you can tell it not to, but 264 will, its malloc will do a negative test break on occasion. It has to be